This one is a jokester. This person, they know how to tell a joke. Haha, I signed your yearbook upside down.
All of these things are so new to you. Because you also then missed out on people signing your crack.
Oh my God. I'm like, that's so childish.
I thought that's what you were about to read.
Oh my God, people signed your crack?
Yeah, you find
literally
the spine and then you're like, haha, I signed your crack.
Oh my God, I really did.
And then you leave your phone number and your aim.
See, that was my problem. Is I was like, I don't need to see you after this. I was so like, I will see you next year.
You really did.
I pieced out so quick. I was like, I'm going. No yearbook. I'm like, I don't need to remember you.
You cut all ties.
You gave me enough to live with through this year. I was like,
day one.
No, I knew who I was going to hang out with during the summer. And I didn't see the point of a yearbook.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I just like a big old fucking like Scrooge?
I just never knew anybody that like didn't get it.
Okay, but like this is going to be weird. I just didn't see a point. Because I was like, it's just a piece of paper.
Oh my God, for this exact
of
reason,
people.
It's so fun to look back at these. That's so fun. Who called me a butt whore?
Oh my God. See, who would say that?
I need everybody to know that Abby was like, she called you a hag.
I was so concerned. I was like, Bree, you were not hanging out with the right people. Because she was like, what'd they write? And I was like, they called you a hag, Bree. And she goes, that means have a great summer. And then I had to remind her, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, somebody said, hey, now that I got to know you better, you rock. Call me. Ooh.
Oh. Who was it?
Gosh, I don't know. They didn't put their name.
Mystery. Let me see.
What if this was supposed to be your love? You heard it here first, everybody. Follow us on Rent Free Roommates as we track down the could-be relationship from Bree's middle school years.
Oh, no, it's Leah.
Oh. Well, it could have been something. Sorry. Series is canceled. But the good news is we're not.
We're still here.
Yay!
Oh, it's probably because it was from that was my 6th grade. So that's why we were all getting to know each other.
Extremely rude of you to interrupt me during that. That was probably one of my best lines of work. And you
went along with it.
You shit all over it.
Rude.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You're a hag.
No, I rock.
You're a hag.
Sorry. We were looking at yearbooks. We were looking at my old yearbooks from middle school, my middle school yearbooks. Because I just found out today that one of my coworkers where we currently work, we went to middle school together. Like, it's wild.
It's crazy,
it's still
actually.
blowing my mind.
And it's not even just like a casual person. It's an actual friend of hers at work.
Who like moved out of state at one point.
Yeah.
Like he's been here and back.
He's been gone.
he's been places.
And now he lives 2 blocks away from us.
Yeah, now he lives so close again.
Yeah. Is he stalking you? Oh my God.
But it was so fun. I love yearbooks.
You know what? Although I didn't have a yearbook, and although I also wasn't on the yearbook committee, I do wish I was on the yearbook committee. I felt like that would have been more my jam. And then how funny would it have been the person that makes the yearbooks wouldn't even buy a yearbook.
So you never even signed anybody's?
I'm sure I did. It's like every kid did.
Just ditch that school day.
I
not even come in for the last day.
But I want you to know my senior year I barely was there. One time my grandma dropped me off at school. We had late start Mondays, so we would like sit in the cafeteria until school started, and I just kind of like looked around and I looked at my friend Shelby and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. So I left. I just left. I called, I think, a friend who I knew had a car and wasn't at school yet. I was like, will you come pick me up? And then I called my mom, and that was like my weird thing that I would just basically tell my mom, I'm like, I left school, will you call them? And I would do that.
Oh my God.
I just would look around and I'd be like, and I remember it was one of the best days of my life. IFC had a movie marathon. And I just remember that was one of the best days. And my friend was like, I can't believe you would just leave. I can't believe you would do that. And I was like, well, I can't believe you would stay. I'm sorry.
The attitude and entitlement that comes with being a senior in high school
is crazy.
Unparalleled.
It is crazy. I actually did also tell a teacher my senior year, I was like, I will not be writing the term paper. I said, I will do enough to pass, but I will not be writing this paper because I just don't think I will. And you want to know what I spent the rest of that year doing? Looking at property in Massachusetts, as if I had any funds to be looking at property in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I was like, no. And my friend, like, Calvin is, like, typing away. And he actually did tell me, because I was like, what do you think of this house? And he was like, don't talk to me like I'm working. And I was like, oh, yeah, ooh, yeah, I don't know what that's like in this class. I said, no, I don't do that.
Oh, so now we're here.
And here we are.
And here you are. Hi. I feel like we did say hi.
We did say, that's what I told Brie. You guys, and this is why I get so mad, because it's not even that I'm mad. It's just I know what me and you are like. So I try and get it in the beginning, because I'm like, fuck, we're going to start talking about something soon. And I tried to, and it was a beautiful segue. Could I remember it now? No. That's my problem.
So sorry.
You know what, Brie? You know what, Brie? This is just so you.
Is it?
So you.
Anyways.
No, we did say hi. We said hi in the very beginning.
Yes.
Because I tried to get that in there right away for us.
You did try. Sorry.
I did.
I'm very excited. This is how excited I get about yearbooks.
Get excited about our roommates.
I am so excited.
We'll show a little love. Show it.
So happy that you
tell
guys
them
are
right
here.
now.
I'm trying.
Oh, sorry.
Gets mad at you for stepping over my words when that's exactly what I did to you.
It's not so fun, is it?
No, but anyways, if this is your first time here,
we argue a lot and we forget a lot of things.
Thank you so much for coming. We love having you. I'm Brie.
I'm Abby.
And we're your rent-free roommates.
I was going to tell you that 2 minutes ago. Regardless, I'm so happy to have you guys back.
Yes, happy you're here. Welcome in. We love having you. We will stop fighting for a little bit.
We'll put it on pause.
Yeah.
But the second that record button goes off, I will be talking to Brie about a couple of things. Just a couple. Okay? But in the meantime, this is about you all.
And if you are bickering with your roommate, let us know about it. You can let us know by emailing us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rent-free roommates.
I might send in an email later. Get some advice on some things.
rentfreeroommates@gmail.com. That is rentfreeroommates@gmail.com.
Such a good job, Brie.
Thank you so much.
You're so talented.
Wow, thank you.
So we'll transition from being passive aggressive, because I do think we need to let you know how to follow us if you're not going to email us.
Yeah, please do email us, because we do want to hear from you, whether you're angry like us or happy or anything.
Or happy. Maybe you like your roommate.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some...
What are you trying to say?
See? Haha. I'm just trying to hurt right now. I'm going to stop. Okay? I need to grow up, because I'm 28 now.
But if you're a little confused right now and you don't really know what to write, you can still follow us.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like, if you are very unsure of what this podcast might be about,
yeah,
a follow would also be appreciated, and you might learn something along the way too.
You can comment and just be like, what the
hell?
What the fuck? Hey, quick question. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Or you can share us and be like, can you guys figure it out?
Do you guys know what's going on? Are they friends? Should they be doing a podcast together?
It really helps us out. It'll also, we'll see it and we'll be like, maybe we should rein it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do follow us on any of our social media, which is really just Facebook and Instagram at this point.
It really is. But I really enjoy Instagram.
Me too.
I think our Instagram is so fun. And if you guys want to know how fun it is, you're just going to have to follow us and get in on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rent-free roommates.
So easy.
But anyways, we would love to see you on our social media as well. We love when you guys interact and we love seeing you guys there. But we also love your emails. And right now, we especially love those spooky emails.
Would be the time. I want to know.
Please.
Did you survive a home invasion? Did you stop a kidnapping? Did you almost get kidnapped?
Oh my God.
Right? Are you scared?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
I'm so scared.
You guys will be too. Once you send us those stories, so Brie and I can make it really scary for you. Okay? That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do the entire month of October. So please, let us Make this wish come true for you. It's for you. It's all for you. And if anybody got that reference, bonus points. I hope so.
But we will get into it because we have definitely rambled on for way too long this time. Sometimes it's just really hard to like focus.
Bree, we have to get into it. Stop.
And balance.
Bree.
Work.
Bree. Bree.
Okay, we're going to get into it.
Bree. But I mean, like, not logic per se, but I guess like weird things that I will and won't do, you know? Like the whole yearbook fiasco. And then
there's no figuring you out because every time I'm like, oh, she probably hates this. You're like, I love that. And I'm like, but how? In comparison. And then I pull down my chart. I'm like, but you hate this. And this really bugs you. And you think that's ridiculous. But you'll watch this.
Some of it gets grandfathered in. And I know it's not fair, but that's what gray areas are for. You know? Every rule has an exception.
I think there are some things that maybe you didn't like as a child. I'm folding my hands on the table right now.
Oh my God, you guys.
Some things
I'm like looking around like, who is she talking to?
You should try again.
Like what, Brie? Like what?
Like the Goofy movie.
No.
Why?
I just like do it, but like here's the thing. It wasn't even that I was a child. I was working at...
Well, I know that's the weirder thing that even as a child you were like, no.
Because I think they should have flew. They would have saved
and then there's no movie.
I'm just so logical. It's just, it made no... especially with his track record, I'm like, why? Why would we? It just made no sense to me. And
his name is literally Goofy.
Like, what did you expect? I don't know. I expected a better plan with maybe itinerary.
To be fair,
but meanwhile,
Goofy
I'm
did
over
have
here.
Itinerary. Max just didn't want to do it.
Wah, wah.
He wanted to go to the concert.
He wanted to do his own thing because he's in college. And I think Pauly Shore was in that movie.
He was.
And I also think that animation looks a lot like Pauly Shore.
Doesn't they try to do that?
No.
They try to do, like, with a lot of animation.
Big no shit there. Big no shit there, Brie. Thank you. We should read the story because we're about to fight again.
We're fighting so much lately.
Oh, we're not fighting.
No.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at you.
Brie, I'm not mad.
I feel too gross for sex. Recently, my coworker and I expressed some mutual, nearly purely physical feelings, and now he's wanting to become friends with benefits. He's asked me to meet up a couple times now, but as much as I want to, I just can't help but feel way too uncomfortable with the thought of him seeing me naked. I'm not overly unfit or anything, and my weight is only just above where I want it to be. But I don't know, man. My proportions feel off, and my figure and bone structure and muscle mass is just gross to me. He's only ever really seen me either at work or at bars where my outfit is specifically tailored to flatter my best parts and hide the worst ones. I feel like once he actually sees me, he's going to be over me in a heartbeat. I've wanted this since I met him. Like, it's been years. And now that I finally have a shot, my stupid insecurities are getting in the way. I've tried working out, dieting, all that good shit, but I just can't get my body to a point that I'm comfortable with. Someone recently told me that they think I might have body dysmorphia, and I've considered the same, but I've never really worried about it before. But I don't know, now that it's completely halting my sex life and my love life in general, shit kind of sucks. I don't know, man. I feel gross.
There's a couple things I feel off of, like, just right away. I think it's concern. Well, so, like, just, I've been in that position before, too. It's obviously this does not encompass because I think there's a lot going on here. But one thing that I did want to call out is I think it's unhealthy to want to change your body for a person. And that's what kind of triggered me a little bit here is it feels like a lot of this is because you want to look a certain type of way for this person. Do we even know that this person cares how you look?
Well, that's the whole thing is like, this is unfortunately one of those situations where you're getting in your own way.
Yeah.
Because he has shown interest, and obviously he's very attracted to your body. Like, specifically, you even said, like, it's nearly entirely physically that you both are, like, attracted to each other. So, like, he's in it. And I think it's an intrusive thought, the way that you feel about he's only seen you at work and at bars where you're wearing things that are accentuating your best parts and hiding the worst. That's not true. Cut it off at accentuating your best parts. That's where you need to be mentally. That's what you need to focus on, is that, because that's what I love about clothes, especially as like a plus size woman, that just something as simple as clothes can make me feel so much better. That's when you know you found something that fits you right, that makes you happy, and that like that is a good outfit because it makes you feel better. This is kind of the same situation of fit the clothes to you, don't fit yourself to the clothes. But it's the same thing of fit the relationship to you, don't fit yourself to the relationship.
Well, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking immediately here. And I also don't want to, because like it makes it seem like this person really cares, and it kind of seems like they don't. It seems like they see a lot more to you than that. Like, I mean, you may think like, yes, the clothes are flattering for sure, but like I feel like they have to see past that as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he mentally sees past that constantly.
Has to, you know?
Sounds like he's thinking about it a lot.
Yeah. And my like one thing, because I feel like I used to struggle with my body too, is, and like shout out to Julia Roberts here, because I will, you know, I love that bitch.
You do.
You know I love that bitch. Eat, Pray, Love. She has a friend when they're on their journey of self-discovery and eating pizza, her friend is all like, I've gained so much weight, and she hits her with the good old-fashioned, has a man ever turned down sex with you? Why? No, because he's in a room with a woman and he's about to get fucked.
Yeah.
And if they care, then like literally fuck them, because there is so much we could call out. So much. I do not have the time. I do not have the time, and I know that they cannot handle that truth. Let me not get like crazy. But all I'm just going to say is that like I have never myself also been in a time or position where a man has been like, is that an extra like pound I see on you? Right. Get out.
Well, and think about it from your own perspective towards him too. Like, I'm sure he probably has insecurities about himself.
Everybody.
But he maybe internally he's freaking out about some of those things, or like he gets nervous in the moment. But are those things, I'm sure if he told you what his insecurities are, you would probably be surprised. Or you would even be like, but I love that. You'd be like, wait, but I kind of like that about you. Like, I'm sad that that's something that bothers you about yourself, because that's something that I'm really attracted to.
That's also the interesting thing about relationships. I don't think it would stop with this relationship, you potentially having issues with your body. I think this is just like, that's the thing about relationships, is they force you to like really be intimate on a whole lot of different other levels, and force you to really look at yourself, because you're trying to see yourself from another person's point of view, essentially, and like what's likable about you. And then you obviously start to go down like the road of like what's not likable about you, and it can be really easy to only focus on that, and then it can potentially get to a point where you're not able to focus on anything else, you know, like jealousy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, again, like with this, I think you need to focus on like you being at a place with your body where you're happy, because it's really not about like your partner, because the right person won't care about that, or they shouldn't, you know. Like, because at the end of the day, you're not spending like your time completely physically. It is a lot of mental stimulation that comes with being with a person. And I think that's way more important than what they look like, you know. I think it's more important that you get to a position within yourself where you want to look a certain way or feel a certain way for your own being, not because like you may not be desirable to another human being, because I think a lot of people are beautiful that someone else may not find attractive. It's just like beauty's in the eye of the beholder there. But if that insecurity unworked on will just show up in another relationship, in another form, another way, if left undealt with.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well said. What you're feeling is completely normal and totally valid. And like, I fully understand it too. I think I just told Abby like somewhat recently that I just like the thought of having sex right now just completely freaks me out. And I'm in like mentally I'm in a similar situation where I'm so uncomfortable with my body right now. And I know that I have been in a position previously where I have been very comfortable with my body. And at that time, that was the biggest I had been then. So it really is all just like, it's perspective and just, practicing loving yourself. And that was 2019. And I was like at my peak mentally for just like self-love. And I've gained more weight since then, and it's, a side effect from depression, and just everybody has been affected by the pandemic in multiple ways, but definitely even just like lockdown, we all put on extra weight. I guess I can't say all, but, I feel like majority, we changed a lot physically from that whole time period, whether it was because of lockdown and less movement or depression, and just there's so many side effects still happening from the pandemic. And it's just, it's hard to get yourself out of that kind of mental rut, but I do understand where you're coming from. But that's why I just encourage you to work on yourself, even if even though you're talking about this and it's just kind of casual, it's just like friends with benefits things. Casual sounds easy because the word casual sounds effortless, like it's associated with effortless. But I think in the case of a relationship, casual relationships, casual actually takes a lot of confidence and a lot of self-love and a lot of security in yourself. Because if you're just casually doing whatever, then I think doing that successfully, your mind has got to be like, I'm just doing whatever. I'm just having fun. And I'm just like, I love me. I love myself. Like, you're not second guessing so many things, because then casual isn't healthy for you then. I think if you're not more secure with yourself, then it is just giving you more opportunities to kind of spiral and think about all of your insecurities and just kind of feed into those negative thoughts for yourself. But if you're in a better spot with yourself mentally and you're being a better friend to yourself, then casual isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, you can have fun casually. That's just my opinion, at least. I feel like it takes vulnerability even for casual sex, because of what you've brought up. You're not, if you're doing it casually, then you're not really thinking, or not worried at least, about yourself physically. And that's a big hump to get over. Like, that's a big mental hump to get over. It takes a lot of work, and I think there is some unpacking that probably needs to be done, which is the same for me. I'm saying this as somebody who needs to do the same exact work that I'm telling you to do right now, that I think there's probably some unpacking. I think there probably is some body dysmorphia. I don't think I recognized it for a really long time as body dysmorphia, because I had this very naive thought of body dysmorphia is only when you're actually very thin, but you only see yourself as fat. Mm-hmm. And for me, it actually manifests as my mental image of myself is skinnier, is curvy in all the ways that I like wish I looked, but I don't think of it that way. Like, it's like when I'm picturing myself in an outfit and things, I am picturing this person, and then I catch myself in the mirror and I'm not what I look like in my head, and that's when I get upset. Mm-hmm. And that's not healthy. And that is a form of body dysmorphia. It's different. It's my mind kind of playing tricks on me of, my own mental image or how I'm seeing myself. So I think even if you haven't admitted it to yourself, it took me a long time to admit it, but I definitely have some stuff going on, and it's not fun. And it's also not your fault. It's the world that we live in that has created this and conditioned so many of us to expect to see ourselves a certain way. So it's kind of breaking those molds.
Well, so I'm curious then, Brie. I'm curious a little bit then on your take of like, would you want to engage? Knowing that you have similar feelings to the writer, would you want to engage in a relationship at the moment, or would you hold off thinking that you need to work through that first before you can engage in something sexual?
I personally wouldn't move forward just because I know where I'm at mentally. Yeah. That I am just so uncomfortable with my body right now. And I know that I wouldn't even enjoy it.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that like, I really want to emphasize, just because like, I personally think sex can be such a wonderful experience. And I love sex a lot, to be honest with you. And I really only, like, as with anybody, like everybody too, like when I'm having sex, I want to be fully enjoying it in the moment with that, not worried about anything too.
Yeah.
And I feel like with those type of struggles, it can also ruin something and make you not want to have it, or give you really negative views towards like sex, pleasures, partners, kind of like what's happening a little bit. You know, this, until they say it, I shouldn't think it, you know, and if they did say it, fuck them, because bodies are beautiful. But like, if you don't feel that way, then yeah, I don't want you engaging in something that's going to make you feel insecure or not feel good about yourself too, because that's like the great thing about sex, is that like it can be very euphoric and very fun and freeing with the right people and the right mindsets. And I don't want it to be a negative one for you either. And that's the thing, like same with you, Brie, is like the fact that like you wouldn't enjoy it, you'd be so in your head. It's like inevitably you're going to start viewing sex as a negative thing too, and that's no fun.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I think it's hard to say, like, don't overthink it when it's already been done. Because I'm
They're
just
like, this podcast sucks if that's what you have to say to me.
I'm just thinking back to when I was more sexually active more frequently, that in those moments, I wasn't in my head. And I think it's because I already knew that those guys were attracted to me, at least enough to have sex with me. I also, even, you know, these kind of whatever, like it was all casual, and it was just like, it's not like I was planning that it was going to go anywhere, or I was trying to have any relationship. I wasn't in my head then. I knew that they were attracted to me. I still think afterwards, it's more so like how it's made me feel afterwards and how it's made me feel in the long run that I think is now affecting me, and also not helping with like the situation I'm in now. It's almost, it's like when you think back to an old relationship, and typically when you're thinking about exes, it's like you're thinking about all that good stuff and you're like, oh my God, why did we break up? For me, thinking about sex as an ex, I'm thinking about a lot of the stuff lately that it kind of did negatively to my mental health, and just feeling used and feeling just kind of transactional, and that there really was never anything more than just casual sex. In the moment when it was all happening, it was all fine. Now it's kind of having after effects on me, and I'm sure that also has to do with my depression. It's just a whole great cocktail of just setting myself up for more depression and for like worse thoughts, which is what I'm working on. You know, that's the stuff I'm trying to work through, and what I'm trying to catch those thoughts, but also trying to focus on where they are coming from so that I know what to work on and what it is I'm looking for. Because maybe that's just like boil it down to like the roots of it all. Do you think you want to have more with this guy, or are you really just, will you be fine just having casual friends with benefits? Because
I was going to say, that's a good point too, Brie, because like casual sex, if not done properly, definitely has the ability to make something feel very transactional or very cheap.
Yeah.
If you're like, that's inevitably not what you were really looking for, but just gave yourself. So don't like sell yourself short either. Don't take just what you can get. Like, if something's not feeling right, it's not feeling right, whether that's you, whether that's them. But definitely listen to yourself too, because like something casual also probably shouldn't have like a ton of like emphasis on a lot of things. Like there should be a little less, like that's what casual is. It should be a little more carefree here. But no, I think it's worth having a conversation with the person too, that like, hey, like what exactly, would this be? Would you want anything? Just so you kind of know what you're getting into ahead of time and knowing if you're okay with it. But also, if they're giving you the bare minimum and you want more, you're worth more too, and you're worth that. So if it's not working for you, you should let it go as well. Or if it's causing you more stress than it is like fun, or like you're thinking about it more, because like I've had casual hookups before that I feel like I've spiraled a little bit with, and Bree's had to reel me in and be like, well, like I've been like, well, they're not texting me, blah 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 blah, or like this, that, and the other, and Bree's like, well, what do you want from this? Like, what is your expectation of this person? Like, do you want to be talking to them every day? Like, is that what you want? Because, like, that's not very casual. That's, like, a little more serious than that. And I've had to check myself and been like, oh, shit. Or, like, I've even felt insecure about my body before, too. And I think, Brie, you've also been like, bitch, so many people are like, blah, 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 blah. Or you have X, Y, and Z talking to you right now. Like, why would you even?
Yeah. And that's the credit I want you to give yourself too, that it really is like, I feel it's a sensitive topic, I think, especially because you guys are coworkers. It makes it's really hard for this situation specifically to be casual.
Yeah.
But I do want you to give yourself the credit of, and like, definitely focus on that. This person you are so attracted to is also so attracted to you.
Yeah, girl.
Like,
and like that means something. Come on.
Give yourself that. But also, still protect your heart in, even with your own self-talk and the way that you're feeling about all of this and what you're potentially putting yourself into. Because if things do get awkward, you're working together. Like, that's something to consider. But also, even if you weren't coworkers, this was just something that you were both wanting casual. Find your definition of casual.
Exactly. And don't settle
into it with that and make that known, because you two might have very different definitions of casual.
Yes.
So kind of sit down with yourself, realize what you want, define what it is you want as far as casual, or what you're actually looking for, and be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And have a conversation like Abby said, but go into it prepared, with your own definition of casual. And I know that this sounds like a lot of thought to go into something, especially if it's casual, but like I said, but
that's what it is, though. That's what that means. I've had to have that. Like, I know all I want at the moment is something casual, but like I've had to evaluate on multiple different times on like what exactly casual means to me. And I may have thought I had it figured out one time, and then something happens and I was like, ooh, no, I want this type of casual. And because I settled for what their version was, and that was not my version, and I was not having a good time. And that's done now. You setting boundaries for yourself in the long run, especially with casual, will only find people that match that and then some with you, which I think is great, because you'll find people attuned to like your way of casual, and sex will be a good experience for you. But I do think some reflecting on your end needs to be done before this, because it sounds like you're a beautiful human being and you yourself need to see that. And I don't think you can find that in other people. And especially with the thought process right now, it's almost looking like you're looking for somebody to validate the beauty that you are, because you don't see that. And I think that could be a potential issue going into something so casual and then with a coworker.
Yeah.
So
and
that's what I have to say.
And I think maybe you might be psyching yourself out because it's been so long too. There's so much anticipation that's gone into this that it could be like really disappointing if you went through with it.
Yeah, and he is just a man. Remember that. Like, don't romanticize this before. I'm the queen of romanticizing shit too, and then it doesn't meet my standards. And that's, again, part of why I'm like, what is casual to me? Because why am I romanticizing this? I'm going to be let down.
Right. Yeah, because I don't want it to be disappointing for you. I'm so happy when my girls are getting it and it's good. Like, that's all I want for them. And that's what I want for you too. I want it to be good. I want you to enjoy yourself. The very, bare minimum. Are you going to enjoy yourself? If not, then it's probably not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not worth your time, and it's not worth the damage of possibly like not enjoying future situations like this too.
Yeah.
And
because I think it's probably also because you are coworkers. Because if this was just this casual thing, this guy that you like met at a bar or something like that, there's almost no time to think. So you don't get in your head so much, and you're just enjoying yourself. So that could be playing into this as well. That it really is just so much anticipation that you're freaking yourself out, and maybe you do care more than you're admitting to yourself. So think about some of those things. If you go through with it, I hope you have so much fun. Have a great time. But also don't get down on yourself, and don't feel bad or feel guilty for saying no, because it is your workspace. So, you're allowed to feel how you feel in any space and say no if you're not comfortable with it, even if it's just yourself psyching yourself out. You're still allowed to say no, and he better fucking respect that.
He better listen, or he's got Bree and Abby to talk to.
And above all else, give
you
yourself credit.
He never saw himself getting beat up by a 5-foot blonde. Well, he will if he fucks with you. Know that.
Love yourself, because you sound hot, and and you deserve more credit than I think you're giving yourself. So keep trying to love yourself. It's going to feel a little awkward at first, but the more you practice it and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then just like complimenting yourself all the time, like, feels great.
And this is what Brie has to tell me sometimes. She's like, these people want to fuck you, obviously for a reason. So like this person obviously wants to sleep with you for a reason.
Yeah.
You're hot. Okay? My God.
Accept it. Just accept it.
Sorry it sucks. Sorry.
But love yourself, because we love you. So good luck. I know it's so hard to get out of your head, but we believe in you. We think you can do it. And thank you so much for sharing. We hope that we helped.
Speaking of falling asleep anywhere, we've really come to realize that Bree's afraid of me, which I think is just the comical thing here, because I just love, one thing about me is that I feel like everybody needs to know is how small I am. But the amount of fear I can like instill in people with like my looks, I think I'm really mean with my looks. I think it should be studied, because I woke up on the couch this morning at like 5 a.m. and I was like, man, Bree must really be afraid to wake me up if I like woke up out here. I understand it's before anybody says something in the comments. Yes, I understand. I fell asleep and I'm an adult, and it's not Bree's responsibility to wake me up. But normally, she just gives me a little nudge to let me know. But I'm really scary.
I think that's really what it is. I think I'm more stressed by you, and I don't want to go into bed with that level of stress.
But have I ever yelled at you? Have I ever yelled at you?
No, but even when it's not directed at you, it's not fun to deal with that attitude.
But I don't do anything. 90% of the time, I just get up and walk to my room.
It's like you just said, it's the looks. It's the speed and the weight at which you walk.
I know. I put all my weight into my feet. Because at this point, because my whole thing is, I guess I'm just not realizing how I'm coming off, because I'm just not trying to lose any of the tired. Because I've got things.
You seem pissed.
Yeah, because I'm pissed that I gotta get up and get into a bed, and you have so much time before I feel like your body realizes that you're up again, that it's like, oh, we're moving, and you're like, no. I
do understand. As an insomniac, I do understand.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's so not even about you.
And I know that.
It's about me.
It's still not fun to like listen to it.
So anyway, Bree and I have worked out a system to which we think that she can, because I fall asleep on the couch a lot. That's the problem here. That's the problem.
We both do.
So, but Bree's usually much better at getting up than I am. So we're trying out a couple things now. Everybody stay tuned. We will report out results. But right now we're just going to try, because obviously Bree waking me up, we've tried it. It's not good. She doesn't like it. Not a good experience for her. She gets scared. She sleeps with the lights on. No, I'm just kidding. But we're going to try her just turning off the TV and leaving the room.
Which is hysterical, because that's the opposite of what you do for me.
I
Can we please talk about how I am apparently Abby's dog that she feels the need to entertain when she leaves the room? Not even leaves the room, just when she's falling asleep on the couch.
Oh, I feel so bad because I get upset because I don't want Brie. Because I don't want Brie to just have to sit and have no one to talk to. And I know that I'm going to fall asleep. I'm like an old man. I know the second I lay down, game over. You should just anticipate me.
I also know that.
You should
I appreciate that. I love that you're worried about me.
Because I just want to make sure, that she's not bored. She has something to do.
But that's so stressful. Know that, like, I am so okay just sitting with myself.
Like a sim.
Or just watching TV.
Oh.
Like, I just don't need to. And it's not, you don't have to entertain me. I can fully get the remote and put something on myself.
Like, I literally.
It's so sweet.
I put on something the other day and I just so happened to, like, go into my room to sit down real quick.
You literally went to bed.
No.
You stayed in your room the rest of the night.
Shut up.
We both went to bed, yeah. Well, that was the funniest part, too, is that I literally was like, I think I need to go to bed. And you're like, okay. And then you, like, I thought you were putting on Family Guy. I was like, oh, like, I just thought you wanted to stay up longer. But you literally put it on and then, like, beeline to your room.
Do I subconsciously do this to you now?
And that's why I said it. I was like, did you just put this on for me? And then go to bed.
I've done it before, everybody. I will literally put stuff on. I'll be like, Bria, I think you might like this movie. 10 minutes later, I'm asleep.
It cracks me up. We still talk about the movie because she always wakes up as it finishes. She's like, what do you think?
Did you like it?
And then it's a game too where I'm like, how far did she get? And I'm like, oh yeah, what was the last thing you saw?
It is. And then she'll tell me how much more of the movie is left.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, you made it pretty far.
Yeah, and sometimes she gets really proud of me.
It's just this fun little game.
It's a very weird game. It's a very weird game. It's a very weird life that Brie lives with my sleeping.
It cracks me up. I love it.
It also kills Brie that I don't say goodnight.
It does. We've talked about that.
Oh my God, we have, haven't we?
It's just so weird to me, the way that you see it.
Goodbye.
You're not leaving.
But I am.
You're going to your room.
Sleepland.
Okay,
like,
so good night.
But I am leaving you physically and spiritually.
It's literally like one of the things good night was invented for. Is going to bed.
I don't know. So was goodbye.
No.
Potato.
You're leaving.
Sorry I brought this up. I'd love for us to start one fucking intro not fighting.
I'm so sorry if this is triggering, if you guys feel like children of divorced parents.
It shouldn't feel that way.
Because it's all for fun.
Because I love her.
I love her too.
For the most part. I was pretty pissed that she left me on the couch, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
There was part of me that I think knew that you were going to be upset whenever it was. I didn't expect you were going to sleep that long.
I feel abandoned is what it is.
So sorry.
Well, I'm glad we're communicating.
Me too. Look at what we've learned. Now we're going to help somebody else out.
Now we're going to help you.
I'm in a long-distance relationship with my girlfriend who lives in the U.S. and has been given the 5 commandments if I want her.
What?
Essentially, I've found myself in a pickle where my girlfriend and I have been together for 1.5 years, and she has recently expressed, for me to have her, I need to fulfill 5 things. Now, mind you, before this was said, we had visited each other once each and have kept communication flowing, although not the smoothest communication, admittedly. We've still managed to speak every day. It is also worth mentioning I'm from Sydney, Australia, whereas she's from Northern Virginia, USA. These 5 commandments are: 1. Visit her again in October for 4 weeks to prove to her parents that I'm worthy enough to take her on. 2. Get a visa and start working from her area as of February next year. No exceptions after February. 3. Propose by no later than August 2024 with a minimum $15,000 ring.
I'm okay.
That one took your breath away.
Keep going.
4, have a destination wedding in Turkey or some European country. She does not want a wedding in Sydney because she believes it isn't fair for her side of the family to travel that long.
Oh, it's tough.
5, live in the USA forever without any consideration for Australia and my side of things. Now, I feel as if this is all very excessive and call me blind or stupid, but as much as I know this, I also feel like I'm in the wrong for not wanting to follow suit and go through these commandments, as I feel this is quite one-sided and doesn't involve compromise from her end. Am I seeing this wrong? I mean, she comes from quite a privileged lifestyle, very wealthy, and makes an effort to let me know that she is highly sought after in her area, which I believe plays into her princess mentality. But I would love to know what this means from the angle of someone on the outside. I obviously am not seeing the full picture here. I will also express, I have told her my concerns for not wanting to live in USA forever, as I believe it's not a country that screams safety and longevity when I think of the future. However, we both disagree on that. Don't blame you. Don't blame me there. I don't really want to be here either. I'll come live in Australia with you.
I would much rather be where you're. I mean, I don't really like kangaroos. And I think your spiders are about the size of me.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But I would, it's better than what's here.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of like outback stuff.
Yeah,
too.
I gotta be looking for trouble. I feel like, I think I gotta be actively
So like we're down, but
yeah, essentially I will go.
But let's get into
she sounds wild.
Though.
She sounds wild to me. Run.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
I'm
sorry. I know I don't know them, but like those are minimum $15,000 for a ring. I can't stand people that are like, my ring needs to be worth this much. I don't understand why.
No, it's stupid.
Because I don't think love should be bought, and that's how that feels to me.
Because it's literally just for the show of it.
It's for other people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but my love, I just don't get it.
And that's what she was raised in.
Yeah.
So, like, that's all she knows. Because I don't want to just, like, completely shit on somebody. The only thing I will give her, and I will be supportive of her, the only thing I'm going to give her is that she said what she wants. That's, as far as, like, other advice we've given other people, I will applaud you for that, ma'am.
Yeah,
you
there is
expressed what you want. Is it healthy? No.
Yeah, there's no second guessing here. There's no, like, what does she mean? Mm-hmm. What does she really want? Yeah. No, we know what she wants. And yeah, to Bree's point, that is something we can be like, yeah, thank you. Now it's up to you to be like, do I want that?
Right. Do not feel guilty for not wanting to follow this, because you are 100% right. There is zero compromise in this. This is literally her just telling you what to do. That's all the rest of the relationship is going to be. She needs a reality check.
Honestly,
but unfortunately, I don't think she's ever going to get that.
The list just got like progressively crazier for me, because the first one I was like, no, like, I mean, I get it. I'm like, I would want to spend long-term like time. Like the way she worded it is to like show your loyalty or like seriousness about me. Whereas
4 weeks though?
But I would want to spend that like long amount of time with somebody who I potentially saw the rest of my life with. Like that I can like understand here. I don't think 4 weeks is excessive when you think to the like reality of an entire life together. I got to know a little bit more.
I guess, but also I just think it's, especially because it's such a long distance, like maybe longer trips makes a little bit more sense, but for a whole month, that is coming from a place of privilege, because that is huge privilege to be able to pick up and go somewhere for an entire month.
Yes. When you think about it in that aspect of like work and everything, like, yeah, like there's so much the ignorance to that like it should be talked about.
Right.
But like, I don't think it's wrong to want to spend that amount of time with somebody if it can be worked out, because I mean, again, better than marrying somebody and finding out you can't fucking stand them. is my perspective on that. A longer vacation, sure. Maybe a month is a little excessive. You know,
that's so long.
Because yes, to your point, I wasn't thinking initially about like work and like the ability to be able to like maybe work remotely if that's a possibility. So like, yeah, there's a lot of ignorance behind it, and that's like what her list is though. Is that like, that's what I'm saying, is it got progressively worse here. At first I was like, not the most unreasonable thing I've ever heard, especially for something super long distance, and then she kept going and I was like, the first one then gets canceled out because it's obviously coming from a place of just complete selfishness of like, pick up your life, show your commitment, not of like, I want to know if I actually love you.
Yeah. I think also it's just like a year and a half is still so short to me that I do agree that before you're engaged, you should have a long period of time that you've spent together where you're living with each other. Because that's also something I believe, like you should live with your person before you are like, get married, because you don't know a person, you don't truly know a person until you've lived with them.
No, you don't.
So like I get that, but I feel like that's something where it's like you both know, like the relationship is on the same page, has been for a while, you both are confident that it's leading towards marriage and a proposal, then, you know, give yourself the time to work things out and plan a big long trip like that, like maybe a summer or something like that, if that's something that's more realistic that you would be able to plan, and have this whole month where you're spending actually just in a different country. Some people can figure that out, but that takes a lot of planning, and this is like so sudden.
It all is.
And yeah, and like you did just visit each other. So I guess like, yay, she wants to spend more time with you, but do you want to spend more time with her? Like is going to continue to be my question, is like you said, do you want this? Is this, she said what she wants. If that's not what you want, absolutely you are within your right to say that. Don't feel guilty about it. And you know, and trust your gut that you are already picking up on all of the things, that there is no compromise. This is extremely one-sided. There is no thought put into this for you.
That's the thing I don't like the most, obviously, here. And I think it says a lot about you as a human being, the fact that you even are like, oh, is this too much? Because he tells me that you will give a lot. And I think that can be easily taken advantage of by the wrong person. Case in point here.
Right.
Because, like, I just think it's so grimy when people set limits on, like, money to be spent on such materialistic items that don't really hold, like...
Yeah, because even in this list, you can already tell she's not planning to pay for any of it.
No. Like, the $15K for that, I'm just like... I just don't like it. It just seems so grimy and just like, I only want the money aspect of it. And then when you factor in just like the complete disregard for like, family's important, especially if you're close with your family, and not being around them can be really difficult for some people. And so the fact that it's just an immediate, like, here's what we'll do for living situations, and none of them are at all in favor of you. Is really concerning, because it tells me like marriage is a unionship and it's a commitment to each other's happiness. So it's like the whole point of it is that you're like, I'm committing to not just my happiness, but this person's happiness now, because it's the rest of your life. Like, and she's basically telling you your life will be a compromise to what she wants. And I cannot stand that. I don't think you'll be happy. I think she needs a reality check. I'm not saying she's just like this horrible person, but I think it's very telling that you want to marry somebody and you don't even care if they're near their family, who they potentially really would like to be with.
Right. Yeah. Like, and I'm not really joking. Like, I do mean it when I say good that she's communicated what she wants.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fucking surprise to you.
Yeah. Because it is so extreme. Like, thank God she told you, because in my opinion, like, now you don't have to spend any more time with that, or you're not figuring it, this lack of willingness to compromise, you know, later on, or like once after you're already married or something like that. But I just like... I'm just baffled by it. And it also, it's completely not surprising to me that she comes from a place of privilege, because that's what this entire list reads.
Oh, yeah.
This is coming from a person who has never had to like work for anything or has never had a compromise on anything in their life. Everything has just been handed to her.
And I guess that's just up to you to decide. Like, I mean, does it bug you that you wouldn't be with your family? Does it bug you that she's setting price limits on things that, like, so what if the ring's $11,000? Do you not love her as much? Is it not going to be worth it?
Absurd.
Like, that's just what I like. It would be one thing if it was like a specific like design that they wanted, but it's a money thing. Yeah. It's a price limit.
And this is also coming from somebody who doesn't realize what it takes to make that amount of money, have it saved up. Especially this is somebody who's never had to find a job.
And that's just the ring. Can you imagine the wedding?
Right.
Holy shit.
Destination wedding.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was... Yeah, gosh, I just think if those aren't things that you align with, what's the point? Yeah. If you're questioning it now, you're going to be questioning it later. Yeah. It sounds like it's just not what you need. She needs to find somebody that is, like, looking for a woman to just completely, like, be at their beck and call and spoil. And there are men like that. There are men that enjoy relationships like that. But it doesn't sound like that's really what you want.
Yeah. And you deserve to have somebody who is more thoughtful towards you.
Yeah. It kind of almost seems like you're looking for permission to feel the way that you feel. And
here it is.
I don't think you need it because, like, it goes without, like, and you don't need to apologize for not wanting to meet certain things. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, but that's just not what you value a good relationship as, or a relationship worth potentially spending the rest of your life with somebody. Like, if I had somebody who was like, Abby, you have to be 105 pounds in order for me to even think about proposing to you, I'd be like, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Get fucked, Yeah. Or if he were like, Abby, if you do not walk down the aisle in this type of dress, turn back around.
Right.
Yeah, it's just wild when you set those because it's like, what does that have to do with our relationship and the love we have for each other? What does that ring have to do? What does that destiny? I hate it. And it just makes me feel like you're so far removed from the actual love.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it. I think she's more in love with herself and her life and the idea lifestyle, of love. Yeah, than she potentially could be with anybody. I don't think that she could really, give herself in the way that somebody should in a relationship, which is just like equal parts of being there for each other. She doesn't sound like somebody who could like comfort somebody else.
Well, that's the thing too, is it sounds like love for her has been reward struck in. So like that's what she knows and sees love. So it's like how much you spend on her is how much you love her, which that is things that like she probably isn't at fault for. That's more so an environmental thing, I'm sure. Yeah. But like nobody ever showed her otherwise, taught her otherwise. Are you going to do that? Do you want to do that? Do you want to take the time? Because like, if so, you know what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is kind of a, maybe too far gone to, that's a lot of work that if you really love her that much and you're willing to put in that much work, wow. I'm impressed by you, but like, there's also the possibility that would never change and that it's just always going to be, this is the only way that she sees love. Maybe not. Maybe she could be changed. Maybe she could see the light, but I don't think somebody coming from that level of privilege is going to be very excited to change anything about that.
Yeah. I think you two have very different versions of love and how you see it and what it means to you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important, especially when you consider, again, I feel like I'm emphasizing here long-term, rest of your life. Yeah. This is somebody you have to, and again, I'm just so big on energies too. I feel like a broken record in that I talk about it all the time, but like, that is who you spend your time with. Mm-hmm. You are going to get that energy. You are going to get habits. You are going to get so many different things. So it's so important that you pick people in your life that are going to bring positive energy to it or uplifting spirits. Like I think I was telling Bree the other day that when I had come home from a trip that like I feel so re-energized when I walk into our apartment because it's so healthy and I feel so happy here and it's just so great. And I think I was even telling her that I was telling the person I was with about it. And it's true. I have had bad roommates, and I know what that energy sucking feels like. And I wasn't even thinking about marrying them. You know, imagine a long-term partner whose energy is just not the same as yours, your love languages, all that. And it's just this constant battle of never being met halfway either, too. Oof, couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, could not be me with that. I'm very like...
And already is making you feel guilty for something that...
Yeah, that's wild.
You shouldn't feel guilty for having feelings?
Just for having feelings, opinions, needs that aren't going to be met. And, you know, if they're not going to be met now, they're sure as shit not going to be met after.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You deserve better.
You deserve
honestly.
much better. And she deserves the partner she deserves, you know? Just let karma work it out what it needs to. Let the universe figure that out for her. I hope she gets the partner she deserves.
Yeah, she needs to find somebody in the world she lives in because it's a very different
She definitely
world.
does. She needs to find somebody who's fully willing to just submit, it sounds like, and give her the money that she wants.
Yeah.
If she's not willing to see past that. If she's willing to see the relationship to a deeper level, then...
Right.
Maybe there's something left to be saved here. But I think if you even want to pursue anything with her, you need to set your own boundaries and have a conversation of like what you can and can't, like what you can and cannot do in this relationship too. Because if you just like meet all those without saying any of your grievances, that's just setting up the relationship for future.
Right. Well, and it sounds like you said something, you already had this conversation and she's not willing to budge. So, and if... I suspect, maybe I'm wrong, but I suspect that if you had that conversation already, she's not willing to budge, and you're feeling guilty or feeling crazy, I suspect there was some gaslighting that happened during that conversation that the two of you had, and that she was manipulating your feelings into being guilty. She was making you, whatever actions or words she was saying was making you feel like somehow you are the crazy one for not wanting to meet these demands.
See,
that's not a relationship. That's a contract.
It is. It is. Personally, I know what I want you to do, but it is your life.
Yeah.
And I think just my only, you know, without... you know, taking your phone and writing something out for you. My advice would be to just trust your feelings. If you're having these thoughts now, they're not going to go away. And if you're getting these type of requests before a ring is even on the finger, they're only going to get more drastic from here. And you just have to have a serious conversation with yourself if that's how you want the rest of your life to look.
Right. You've seen her true colors at this point.
Your cards, I feel like the cards have been laid out and it's up to you to decide what you want to do because, again, the one thing we can thank her for here is she laid it all out for us.
Yeah.
We know what she wants. We probably know, one can assume what she wants in the future, can only maybe get, like, exaggerate from there. So that's on you to figure out what, you know.
And that's... That's
I know what I would do.
It might be healthy actions. It appears as though there was something. It's like, yeah, good communication, but the communication and the things communicated are not what make a healthy relationship.
No, not at all.
Like the things that
She's
were
telling.
said.
She's telling. She's not asking.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But no, again, we can thank her. I mean, hey, fuck, thanks for letting me know now instead of later.
Right. Because I feel like that's the pitfall, and I'm worried that maybe that's even what you're kind of psyching yourself out with is that. But I feel like that's kind of the whole thing that happened with like the Jonah Hill stuff, where people were like, "Oh, well, you say you want you want a person to communicate, and then they do, and then you're chastising them for
or
that."
Or they're like, my therapist told me that if I'm feeling this way, it's completely valid. It's not like no,
using buzzwords.
It's a conversation too.
Right. Yeah. It's not only communication, it's what's being communicated.
Exactly.
Verbally and non-verbally.
Exactly.
So, you, like we said, you've seen her true colors. You've seen who she is. Knowing the world she comes from, don't think there's going to be any compromise.
This is where we have to hit you with the, I don't know though, you know, but I'm like, but I feel like I
would love
do.
for her to prove me wrong.
Would love.
Absolutely love to
Would
be
love for her
proven
to
wrong.
knock on my door and be like, you're a fucking bitch. And I would be like, damn.
But the only way I could be proven wrong is through action. Like, I personally would have to see some action from her, but I'm not part of the relationship.
Yeah,
so
right. We are nothing to her.
I would hope that you would see some action.
To impress Brie and Abby moving forward.
We can't get married until these two girls I've never met say that you've shown some growth.
No, they're not. Put that on your list now. I will have to send updates to rentfreeroommates@gmail.com.
Meet her level of ridiculous.
She has to spend 4 weeks with us to prove that she's serious about you.
I don't want to hang out with her for 4 weeks.
A brunch.
I don't even know that I want to talk to her on the phone.
So we might not hang out with her, but you still need our approval.
No. But we really appreciate.
We'll definitely go grocery shopping with her.
If she's buying.
I'll definitely hold the door open for her. Just like bare minimum interactions.
But we hope that you realize that any of the anger coming from our voices is not directed at you.
You're not in trouble.
No, we love you.
Okay? You're worth it.
Yes. If you only get one thing out of it, let it be that you deserve somebody who cares about you as much as you care about other people.
Yeah.
And gives the same amount of care you do, because you sound like a very thoughtful person.
You do.
And you need to just trust your gut more, because you're picking up on all of the red flags.
Yeah, so listen to it. You're not wrong.
They are so red, and there are so many.
You're asking questions. Those red lights are flashing. Okay? Like you're thinking about all of this for a reason, so
yeah.
Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please do that.
What she said.
'Cause you do. You deserve better, in our opinion. And it's out there. There is better than this, I promise you.
And if you don't know, talk to your roommates. That's us. Listen to your roommates.
We're here for you. We support you.
We're here for everyone else too.
And we appreciate it. We appreciate that you trusted us with this. So we hope that we did help.
Yeah. Feel free to write us again if you ever just, the aftermath. Let us know how it went. What'd you pick? If you do end up with her, you can still talk to us. We're not giving you ultimatums.
No. We're still here to support you.
No, we are. We're here to support anybody else who wants to send us anything.
Yeah.
Again, we're here for it all. If you want to celebrate, if you want to cry, scream, listen to Brie and I just argue, send us an email.
Let us know.
rentfreeroommates@gmail.com. And again, if you have any scary stories, again, that can also be anything as well. I mean, did you see a spider? I saw a bug this morning. No, I'm just joking. Please make it be better than that. I'm going to set a little bit of a standard there.
Please share your scary stories literally any time of year, but especially right now. We want to hear them. We love hearing from you guys. So hit us up.
We love love.
Yeah.
We love being loved. We love loving you. We love when you follow us. Please tell them how to do it one more time, Brie, before we go.
Yes. Follow us on our social media on Facebook and Instagram. We are Rent Free Roommates, both of those places. I was going to say everywhere.
Both those places. But also on Spotify.
Every two places.
YouTube.
Yes. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that stuff. You guys know where to find us.
Find us, please.
Rate us there and share. Share. Let us know when you're listening. We love.
Talk about us. Tell us what you think. Is Abby too intense? Maybe.
Does Brie laugh too much?
Yeah. Does Brie maybe tell Abby to calm down too much? Maybe.
Do I?
I don't know. Kind of felt like
Have
it.
I ever said that? I don't think I've ever even said that.
Okay. Is Abby making things up? Maybe. Let us know.
Is Abby projecting?
Let them know. Okay.
We need to talk.
Shush up.
But we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear from you and can't wait to see you next time. But until then,
Bye.
bye.